Insert intro here. Perfect. Easy video editing. Boom. Easy peasy. Barbecue juice time. Check it. It's just chilling in its little cute tropical shirt. How you like my naily nails? My 3-year-old daughter painted my nails the other day, and we don't have any nail polish remover, so it hasn't come off yet. Whatever, that doesn't matter. That's not why you're here. You're here for me. So yeah, cooking a tri-tip. It's gonna be sweet. It's a lot cheaper than a brisket, and personally, I like it more than brisket. I don't cook it like a brisket. We don't take it to super high temps. We're gonna cook this thing medium rare because I'm a savage, according to my dad, because he likes well done. But that's what I've found is the tastiest. But today what we're gonna do is just start with a nice dry brine. So we'll get our like inner Salt Bay action on. Look at that. That actually worked. Maybe that guy knows what he's doing. But no, for real. We just want to get this nice and covered with salt. We want that salt to permeate all the fibers in the meat because this is technically a roast. And so because of that, there's not a whole lot of seasoning coverage. And so then if there's not a lot of seasoning coverage, your meat can be bland, right? So that's why we have to make sure that we get a nice dry brine in. The other part that's nice about a dry brine is it'll help with the tenderization process. A lot of the water will come out, and then as the tri-tip sits in its own juices, it'll soak everything up, and it'll again give you that salt flavor all throughout. So we're just putting on a healthy amount of salt. Done with that. Now you just let it sit here. I've heard people tell me that they don't brine meat for more than 15 minutes. I've had people say they brine overnight, you know. I've had people say that you put it in the fridge. Everybody has a different stinking way. So today what we're going to do is, because I want to get this thing on the pit sooner than later, we'll probably let it brine for 20 minutes and then call it good. I'm excited. This is really good. Yeah, we've been letting it rest or brine for about 20 minutes. So as you can see, you know, we're dripping liquid at this point, right? So we can see that the salt worked. I don't even know why I just put that on the cutting board, because I'm probably just gonna stick it right back on that pan here in a second. Whatever. So today we're gonna use a rub called Carne Asada by Flavor Knuckles. Got it at my local barbecue joint, Lehigh's Barbecue Pit Stop. Actually, I tried to get some of this stuff back in North Carolina. They didn't have any. If you want to get some of this, you have to get it off their website, Flavor Knuckles. So flavorknuckles.com, I think, is what it is. But I'm put on a pretty healthy amount of seasoning. I also should point out, because we did, you know, do this kind of dry brine thing, I'm using a more, or I guess you say less sodium heavy seasoning. But there's good flavor to it, so it's gonna be legit. Like I said, I actually like this more than brisket. It's that good. I love it. You know, whenever my wife wants tri-tip, I get a little bit happy. Use the seasoning on the board, you know, to get the sides with seasoning. I think Gordon Ramsay, he says, mop it up. That's my Gordon Ramsay impression. Real bad. Okay. I think we're good to go. So we're just going to grab this thing and take it out to the pit. We're going to put this thing on the pit. Cook it on the pit. We're going to get hyped with the pit. Check this out. I figured out an easier way to put a probe in. If you come to this side, and then you can just stick it in, and then the little door will move over. Look at how easy that was. No more spicy time. I'm using the integrated probe with the Yoder because it has that onboard monitoring system that I can use on my phone. Okay, we got pellets. We're running at 225 degrees. That's one of my favorite temperatures. We're gonna put the fat cap down, and then yeah, just need to make sure that we put our probe in the thickest part of the meat. And yeah, we're just gonna let this thing cook and have fun in there, and you know, absorb all the smoky smoke, and you know, just turn into this delicious piece of meat. I'm already drooling a little bit. I hope you are too. Okie dokie, artichoke. Okay, so temperature rose to 94 degrees is when I pulled it. I usually will wrap in foil at this point, but today I'm going to try wrapping in paper. Also, when I do my wrapping, I tend to try and just put some fat in there. Just, again, you know, fat's flavor, and it keeps everything soft and moist. So today we're going to use a beef tallow. This is kind of a real popular one as of late. It's like a Wagyu beef tallow. You can use butter, whatever you want, olive oil, whatever. So yeah, now we got that smeared onto the tri-tip. What I want to do actually is I'm going to take my 50-50 ratio of apple cider vinegar water, so just 1-to-1. Then I'm actually going to spritz the paper. Now, Logan, why would you spritz the paper? Oh, that's a good question, viewer. It's because paper can be kind of hard to work with, right? Like it just doesn't like to bend the way you want it to. So this is how we force it. It softens it up and makes it a little bit easier to work with. So hopefully we have enough paper here. Yeah, see how it just kind of, it just does what I want. So yeah, wet your paper first. Way easier to do. And we just want to make sure we get a nice tight wrap. You know what? I do what I want. I'm like a honey badger man. Okay, so now that we got this all wrapped, I'm just gonna go put on the pit. I'm gonna put the probe back in, and then we're just gonna pull it at 115 to 120. That's our window. Because after that, we're gonna put a reverse sear on it with the torch. Honey badger serum. Yeah, so we're going to put a reverse sear on the torch and then let it rest, and then we're good to eat. So I'm going to go put this in, and then I'll grab you when I'm ready to do the sear. Okay. Lit it up. That's what we did. Okay, so pulled it off after we went ahead and seared it. Like I said, I just used my little torch here to do that. Made quick work of it. These sear pros are actually pretty sweet. Definitely work better than just like your Home Depot, you know, blowtorch, whatever. But now we're gonna let this thing rest, probably just 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready to cut her open and see how we did. Yeah. It's about 10 minutes. I'm ready to cut into this thing. I'm really hungry. Remember that when you're slicing these, there's 2 different grain directions on the piece of meat. So you got to make sure that you're paying attention to that, because we always want to cut across the grain. It's a more tender bite. So let's get into it. Whoosh-ah. Look at that money shot. Things looking good. Oof, this is exactly what we were going for. This looks great. This looks real good. All right, let's get an actual slice out of this guy. Okay, I'm going in. Ooh, look, it's just dripping. Sorry. This is like 10 times better than brisket to me. So that should tell you how good it is, because I also love brisket. You really, in my mind, you can't beat this. It's like eating the most tender, flavorful steak you've ever had. It's so juicy. Well, you probably hear it in the mic, so I'm sorry. Man, that's good. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to go eat some food. I'm hungry.